Hello, everybody. Welcome. Hi. Good evening. Happy Sunday. Doing okay. Pretty good. It's been a good weekend. Good to see everybody. It's snowing where you're at. That's crazy. I mean, I will say the weather in Florida has been a lot cooler than normal. Like last night, it was in the high 60s, low 70s, which is weird for us. Yep. Yes, and it has been raining a lot. Hello. Welcome to the live. And my apologies on missing or canceling subscriber live last night. And I couldn't put anything in my story about it other than there was just no live. But we were at a friend's birthday party for the evening. And it was a surprise party. So I couldn't put anything in my story because they follow me and they could see it and all of that. So it was a good friend of ours 50th. And yeah, I've never been a part of a surprise party before. It was really weird. It was not weird, but I was oddly nervous for some reason when we were all hiding and everything. I was like, my heart was racing a mile a minute. Like, I don't know why. I was like really nervous that like we might ruin it, or what if it doesn't go well? Because I feel like a surprise party can like make it or break it in the matter of seconds. You know what I'm saying? Either this person loves it or they hate it. It's either this person, either the surprise happens or it's blown. You know what I mean? Yeah, she did do great in our costumes. She really did. Yeah, that was last year. So we had a great night, had some fun, hung out with some new friends and familiar faces. It was lovely. And these are all friends that we know from conventions and things like that, specifically like Spooky Empire. So it's going to be good. It was good to go to this party and see everybody and kind of talk about Spooky Empire and who we're going to see there, who's going to miss it, you know, that kind of thing. So it's going to be great. This year's costume, I don't know yet. I'm leaning toward Freddy Krueger. I just haven't thought of anything else. I thought Christopher Robin. No, that was just for the Disney Halloween party. That's all. That's because I was going to Disney, you know. But yeah, Dustin has an old marionette thing that he used to do. And I think he's going to find a way to like spook it up and make it a bit more flashy and scary. So that's going to be fun. All right, let's see what emails I have this week. But yeah, other than that, I had lovely clients today. It's been a really chill, kind of relaxing day, which doesn't happen very often. So let's see. Okay. But it's good to see everybody and welcome to the live. Let's see what we've got at dearmadamadam@gmail.com. This one is from Lisa. Lisa says, hello, madam. My name is Lisa. I'm 47. I live in Missouri, and I'm a Gemini. Okay, I don't normally do this, but I'm starting a whole new life, I think. I love your vibe, and I think I'm meant for a reading. You'll pick up on mine. Any advice helpful? I love what you do, who you are, and what you work with. Thank you. Lisa uses a lot of ... between every every little phrase here. There's like, it's like, okay, ... I don't normally do this, ... but I'm starting a whole new life, ... I think, ... So Lisa's got an interesting way of typing. But let's see what we've got, my friend. Starting a whole new life. I think if I'm meant for a reading, you'll pick up on mine. Yep, it must be. Yep, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Don't forget to hit that like. I appreciate it. Helps me out a lot. All right. Yeah, Lisa, I would agree. I would agree that you're experiencing some that you're starting a whole new life. You said I think, so I agree with you. Your spread today is about a lot of change. Um about you being in the right place at the right time for some change. And manifestation. Some inner work is needed. Um and it's like we might be jumping to some conclusions. Um you might be assuming some things about some people. Um like maybe we're convinced that someone doesn't like you or they're against you or they don't have your best interest when you really don't know because you haven't had the chat with that person at all. You're just assuming. You're jumping to conclusions here. So a couple of things need to happen, some inner work, and we actually need to have a conversation so that you can clear that up. So yeah, Eight of Wands energy, right place, right time energy. Things are happening. Magic is unfolding for you. This is a period of death as well, of transformation and change. You're not the same person anymore, Lisa. Something had to die so that something new can begin. The Magician as well. Bam. B plus A equals M. We have to manifest, create. Belief plus action is manifestation. So you're in, like I said, you're in a good spot for some change and a new beginning and to create the life that you want for you. So, but again, we have this Two of Cups and Seven of Swords together as well. Coming off of your spread, also your Seven of Swords is connected to the Magician. So your manifestations might be blocked right now because we're self-sabotaging perhaps, or we're jumping to conclusions about some things, like I said. So we need to have a conversation somewhere. We need to talk it out. And then the High Priestess. You know, it's like I always say, the High Priestess is symbolic of what it means to read tarot, what it means to look within. So there's some soul search here that needs to happen. But yeah, the Seven of Swords, again, look at how we're grabbing those swords. Like, who does that? Who grabs swords like that? Who grabs swords from the blade? So it's like we're inflicting pain on ourselves because we're rushing. You know, you're jumping to conclusions, you're jumping to the negative. So we have to, you're only hurting yourself by doing this. So you'll get better answers with honest communication. And you're in the good spot to do so, but it's going to take some soul search. It takes some inner work, some because I don't know if this is true or not, Lisa, but I know that there are some people that are stubborn to have the chat and like, no, I know how this person is, and I know they don't have my best interest. I don't need to have the chat. I know she doesn't like me, and it's like, yeah, but do you? Like, if don't hear something or believe something that someone didn't say. You know, they didn't say that. They didn't tell you that. You don't know that. Even if you heard it from someone else, you don't know that until you hear it from that person. So and also that High Priestess, the inner work of it all. It's, why do you care? You know, why do we care so much about other people? If this is your new path, you're not the same person. You're a version of you has died and a new version is being born. So it's time to create the life you want for you. The ball in your court, you know, ball in your court to make life what you want it to be for you. So have that chat, communicate well. And yeah, do that inner work, my friend. You got to be patient with yourself and really think about what's going on here. All right, let's see who else I have. Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate you guys. Welcome to the live. Next up, I have Shauna. Shauna writes, specifically, I'd like to take a look at my family dynamics. There's a lot going on within my family. I'd like to have a better understanding of how I can manage the stress that has come to light. I have nothing but praise and admiration for my family. Just lately, things have become kind of rocky. I would like to find out what tools I can best use to work out the dynamics that exist. Absolutely. Family dynamics. All right. Magician once again. 3 of Wands energy. We have to think about the long-term goals here. What are the long-term goals right now with family? You know, I don't know. Maybe as an example, the maybe like the sentimental holidays, that kind of thing, Thanksgiving, Christmas, that kind of shit. Maybe we want to think about those plans and how we want things to be during those times. So 3 of Wands energy, we have to think about the plans, the long-term goals, short-term steps to get there. 2 of Wands energy as well. We have to zoom out a little bit, embrace the larger perspective. You're a dot on a marble floating through space. So we have to think about what really matters and why. And then that magician, again, we have to be willing to create and manifest. So it's almost like if you want something to happen, Shauna, if you want a certain outcome, you have to create it. Yeah, you got to stand strong where you are. The tools that you have at your disposal are are your own frugality. We have to trust that, you know, you can't control what other people are doing. You can't control what they feel or what they think. 4 of Pentacles energy, you got to pull back. You can't control the situation as much as you would like to. Leave it to the family leaders. Good evening. Leave it to the family readers. Not the family readers. The family leaders. Sorry. Leave it to the family leaders. If you are a leader in your family, then your job is to speak and be direct and be forward. With that Ace of Swords, we have to speak things into existence. We have to use logic. So yeah, leave it to the family leaders. If it's different family kind of pods coming together, let the heads of those families handle their own shit. It makes sense that you want to protect what's yours, keep it safe. But if you are a leader in your family, we have to manifest, we have to create, and we have to speak. So being direct with family is something that I think is really important. A lot of times people will walk on eggshells around family because they don't want to hurt this one's feelings or whatever. But how are we supposed to have change and growth if we're not willing to have the tough conversations about the dynamics, about the rocky things going on? If we want to make sure that we're loved and supported, and that, you know, people know that they are also loved and supported by you, it's important that we speak up on that. Now, when it comes to my family, I tried to be the one that was like, hi, I don't like this. I don't like how we do this. And I just found that personally, I was very much outnumbered. And the people in my family don't want to change. You know, they don't want to. So there was nothing I can do about that. So I had to pull back myself. I had to remove myself from the things. So, and the Emperor as well, we got to remember who you are and the responsibilities you have to your own goals. The responsibility you have to make sure that you're taking care of you, that you're that you're worried about yourself as well, you know? So being direct is a thing. Ace of Swords. But we have to think about the long-term goals here. Like, what do we want from this? What do we want from your family, you know, in the future? What do we want from them? Do we just want to get along during the holidays or whatever? And how can we do that? Yeah. So I hope that helps. You have a lot of power. You have a lot that you can do. But you have to set the standard. The tools you can use to best work out the dynamics is, if you're a leader in your family, be direct and speak up. Be willing to create the life that you want for you. And the life that you have to kind of lead by example for your family, you know? My family's very close-minded lately. Yeah, my family is full of narcissists, and they try to use the word family as this kind of wash over any and all problems, any and all disagreements and everything. They're like, oh, well, we're family. You know, this is what families do. No, this doesn't have to be what families do. And they refuse to talk about deep issues They refuse to talk about problems and to own up to their negatives. No one in my family does anything wrong, ever, according to them. They never do anything wrong. Everyone in my family is, they double down on the things, you know. Unfortunately, I have discovered that everyone in my family is a Trump supporter. Most of them are Trump supporters. I didn't think my mom was one, but she's my mom is a very lovesick kind of woman, and she was married to my dad for 20 years, then he retired from the military, and then he divorced her. So she's always, I guess she's wanted to feel loved and had a need to be, you know, instead of putting her kids first her whole life, it was, you know, she wants to put herself first. And even though there have been times where I have told her, we tried to have conversations, and I was like, you never put me first. Like, you don't put me first as your son. Like, I was excommunicated from the Catholic Church because they found out I was gay. I didn't come out to them. Someone found out, and it went through the grapevine, and then they told me I was no longer welcome at that church. And my mom kept going to that church. So, like, how am I supposed to feel about that, you know? So, and I tried to tell her that, like, you know, I'm your son, and if you want to have a relationship with me, it kind of needs to be on my terms, and I need to come first, you know? I need to be a priority to you in your life, and I don't feel like I have been since before I was in college. Like, since for a while, it was like she said, you're adults now, whatever. Like, but I'm your mother, and I should be a priority to you, and I should come first to you. And there was a lot of, like, you know, well, how am I supposed to know what you need if you're not willing to tell me? And she's like, oh, well, you should just know. And it's like, that's bullshit, you know? We lived like 2 hours away from her, and she would get upset with me if I wouldn't come to the house and clean her gutters. There was one Christmas where she guilted me into cleaning the gutters, and Dustin came outside on Christmas, and he was like, what the fuck are you doing? And I'm like, I don't know. She guilted me. She made me feel bad that, like, I'd never come here, and I used to clean the gutters and get on the roof for her, and now she doesn't have anyone to do it. She can't afford to hire anybody and all this shit. So whatever guy she's dating, she adopts their habits and hobbies and personality. So she had a guy for a while who had a boat. So she, like, loved being on the boat, and she loved doing all of that and everything. And now she's got a guy who plays, like, softball and shit. So she loves going to his softball games, and she dresses up and, like, gets little hats and everything for his softball games, and, like, is blowing off spending time with our niece and nephew, her grandkids. She's blowing them off to, like, because, oh, well, he's got a game. Like, he's not in high school. He doesn't play professionally. This is literally a fucking hobby for him. And, like, you know, so having that conversation of, like, I don't feel important or valued at all. And she's not exactly been a fucking saint either. You know, the whole reason that my mom stayed at that church was because she wanted to sleep around with the piano player in the choir, the guy that, and he would come by our house, and it was just me and my mom at the time. My brother was in college, and my dad was obviously divorcing her and not around. So it was just me and her, and I was a flautist. I played flute for the choir, and I was also a singer in the choir. So he would come to the house and, like, bring me the music for the week and, like, talk about it for a little bit, and, like, this is your part, this is what you're going to do, and blah, blah, blah. And then I would say, okay, cool, great, thanks. And then I would leave the house and, like, go hang out with my friends and doing stuff like that. And he would stay at my house with my mom by themselves. And what the fuck do you think they were doing? I'm not stupid. He was also married, so there's that. But she judges me, you know. And when you ask someone who they voted for and they cannot answer you, you know who the fuck they voted for. You know who they did. And I don't want to be one of these people that, like, you know, let politics break up the family. But, like, if you can't say you love and support your gay son and then actively vote for a felon and a rapist. You can't do that. You can't have it both ways, you know? It's the whole thing where parents feel entitled to their children's affection, but have rarely been emotionally available for their own children. Oh yeah, no, it's always been about them. It's always been about them. It's always been about what we do for them, you know? We were always her little servants, you know. She would be sitting in the living room working on something, and she would scream my name from my bedroom and get mad at me for not coming sooner. And she would say, "Hand me the scissors," and they're like just out of her reach. But I had to come out of my room to go across the floor and pick them up for you and hand them to you. Like, you got to be kidding me, you know, little shit like that. And she's like, "That's what children are for," and I'm like, "No." Like, we were very much, I was raised military. My dad was in the Army. My mom was Catholic. My dad was raised Southern Baptist. And I remember when he decided to convert to Catholicism for my mom for some reason. We were already grown, but like, he felt kind of out of the loop, I guess, at church. And when you grow up Catholic, you don't wonder, you know, sometimes you might think, why the fuck do we do this? You know, but we don't really know the answers. It's just because we've always done this, you know? And my dad went to catechism classes to convert, and everything that he learned, he would like shove in our face and be like, "Do you know why? You don't even know why you do this," and stuff like that. So they were both very fucking narcissistic and people that should just not have had children. And anytime that I would say anything about what's going on, I would try to talk to my grandmother and one of my uncles about my mom, and I'm like, "Can you talk to your sister? Like, can you talk to your daughter? Like, I don't feel like she gives a shit about me." And they're like, "She's your mother. She loves you. That's your mother." You know what I'm saying? So like, anything that these people do that hurts you, they're hurting you. I was taught that anything that these people are doing that hurts you, they're doing it because they love you. So I told my mom and my family that love shouldn't fucking hurt this much. It shouldn't be this difficult for me to be around you. It shouldn't be anxiety inducing. I shouldn't have to get high before I hang out with you. I shouldn't have to fucking do that, you know? So I haven't seen my dad in like 20 years, you know? Aside from like a few slight occasions where once I saw him at Walmart and he looked so bad and I was so happy about that. And once he dropped off someone to a party that I was going to, that's a different story. But he saw me walking across the street in skinny jeans and heels and was just like, I'm like, "Yeah, I'm your son, deal with it." My mom has only ever said that she's proud of me about my my tarot and everything to other people. She's only ever said she's proud of me to other people. She's never told it to me, but says that I should know. "You should know I'm proud of you. I tell people enough. You should know that I'm proud of you." But why do I have to hear it from other people? What is that? Why can't you tell me? "Well, you know I'm proud of you." I just said I don't know. Well, I just told you. No, you fucking didn't. You know what I mean? If you're looking at me and saying, "Well, you know I'm proud of you," that's not you telling me. That's you telling me that I'm like bad for not knowing. You know what I mean? Um, so I don't know. Family dynamics are hard for me because I don't have that anymore. I had to remove myself from that for my own mental health and for my own safety, I guess. But I was sitting at my grandmother's house and around a bunch of my family, and I thought I wasn't hearing what I was hearing, but I couldn't believe how many of them were standing by their vote for Trump. And I was like, "Are we fucking joking right now? Like, I'm in the room, you know?" And they were like, "Oh, no, oh, come on, Adam, you know, family politics." I'm like, "You guys brought it up. Like, I'm saying that you're wrong and you're stupid and your political opinion is against my morals and beliefs and my ethics. Like, you love me and you guys all think I'm funny and I'm the life of the party and you love to have me around, but I'm an accessory to you people. If you can't stand by like my rights and my goals and you can't stand by me as a person, like politically, like what are you doing?" And everyone agreed that they don't vote, that they all vote fiscally. That's what they all said. "We all vote with our wallets." And I'm like, well, that's fucking stupid. That's fucking stupid. So I hope they all love the president because they voted for him and they put him in office. But my mother couldn't even admit to me that she voted for Trump twice. Twice. She couldn't even admit it to me. So family dynamics are weird and they're hard. And I just want to say, like, the reason I'm saying all of this stuff is that, like, just because you share blood with people, that doesn't mean that you owe them anything. That doesn't mean you have to be around them. That's why we have a hard no political discussion policy in our family. You start it, you get sent to timeout. Yeah, that's not healthy though to me. If we can't talk about politics and family, who the fuck can we talk about them with? Are you supposed to only keep them online to strangers in your threads updates? You know what I'm saying? If we can't talk about political opinions and what's going on in the world with people that we're supposed to love each other, then, like, what are we doing? They were all exactly the same. Oh, we don't talk about politics and family. And it's like, but how am I supposed to enlighten you? Who the fuck else am I supposed to, like, have on my side? How can I know that, like, we shared the people that raised me, and I thought were the smartest people I know are idiots. You know what I mean? So yeah. It's disheartening and it sucks. So I don't know what the family things going on for your family in particular. I hope it's not that severe, but you don't owe anybody anything. If you're a parent, you owe things to your children, and that's it. My parents used to rub in our face, do you know how much we have to sacrifice for you guys? We didn't ask to fucking be here. You shouldn't have had kids. You're so ungrateful. How am I ungrateful? Like, how the fuck? Like, I didn't say, hey, fuck you. I said, hi, can I go to so-and-so's house? Because I did everything that you asked me to do around the house. I did all the shit that you told me to do. I'm not grounded anymore. Can I go to so-and-so's house? We'll see. You know what I mean? We'll see. Like, instead of a yes, it was always we'll see. And then a reluctant yes when I finally, like, cleaned my room, took out the trash, raked the leaves, took the dogs out. Once I did everything that I needed to do, I checked off your little Cinderella chore list and I got everything done. And it was still like, it's like, you just don't want us to be happy unless it comes from you. And then you use that thing that you give us as ammunition. So, and I learned that early in my fucking family too. You don't take someone else, in my family, you don't take someone to the airport unless you want to owe them something, or unless you want them to owe you. If you take someone to the airport, it's because you want something from them down the line. It's all very transactional. And I have heard my mother bitch and complain multiple times about her siblings. And this one is grandma's favorite. And you know what else is fun? I'm going to move on after this. But you know what else is fun? Most everyone in my family has what they have because of nepotism. Everybody. My brother got my mom her job that she has. My uncles are running, one of my uncles is running my grandmother's old business. My other uncle, I'm not sure what he does for a living, but I know he helps out with the family business. So it's all nepotism. And the only time my mom has been proud of me is when she found out from other people she found that other people were following me and that I was well liked, and they were like, oh, this Madam Adam, this tarot reader. And she's like, that's my son. You know my son? And then it's like, that's your son, Dina? Oh my God, he's amazing. And she's like, oh, I'm so proud of him. Like, she was only proud of me when I blew up online. Before she thought what I was doing was stupid. And then she got proud of me. And then she became one of those people that only wanted love readings. Literally when it serves her. Yeah. She's only proud of me when it serves her. And, she would call me every single day and she would be like, I'd be like, hey mom, what's going on? How you doing? She's like, not much. I've got a date tonight. And I'm like, oh, really? Well, how do you think that's going to go? Who's it with? Where are you guys going? And I'm like, what do you think about it? And she's like, I don't know. You tell me. And I'm like, what do you mean? And she was like, come on, give me a little reading. So I would give her little readings. And then she would call me the next day. And I would say, hey, mom, how's it going? How's your day? And she would say, I don't know. You tell me. And I'm like, come on, are you serious? Like, you're calling me every day to give you little 3-card love readings? Like, that's not what this is. And she got mad at me and like the usual troll, you know. Very sorry for your loss, Karen. Very sorry for your losses, especially your husband. That's terrible. But yeah, that's something that's also hard about, like, we've been watching a lot of Modern Family lately, and the end of every episode is like, family, blah, 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 family. And I'm like, yeah, but not all families are like that, you know? And even I'm sorry. It's TV. It's TV. It's fake. So I don't, how many times can Claire and Mitchell's mom, Dee Dee, how many times can she do fucked up things to Gloria before they just stop having her around, before they're like, no, you're not allowed around here anymore. You're not doing this. You know what I mean? So it's TV. It's fake, you know? So, but I've never been happier with my choices and what I'm doing. And you don't need family. You know, family is lovely to have, and I hope you cherish the family that you're cool with. And if you have a loving family, like one of my friends, Kat, her family is so fucking cool, and they're all really liberal and really nice and open-minded to everybody. And I was messing around with her dad and stuff, and he was laughing at me. And and they're really cool people. And I'm like, I love that for you. I love that you've got this loving and supportive family, you know? Dustin's mom is pretty cool. She was right wing for a while. I think she still might be, but at least she tries to have conversations with Dustin to understand where we're coming from. And she's at least open-minded to it. So there's at least, it's constructive, you know, and she still calls and she still tries. When I cut my mom off, she didn't even try. Like, she didn't even try to fight for it. She was like, no, the children come to the parents. The parents don't apologize to the kids. The kids apologize to the parents. That's very much her mindset. She's never apologized to me fucking ever. So, because she's never done anything wrong, apparently. You know what I mean? She's done some fucked up shit, and she just refuses to acknowledge it and wants everything to just be water under the bridge and to just, like, pretend nothing happened. That's their form of apology, is pretend it didn't happen. And it's like, I'm not doing that. I've got trauma that you caused, and you need to own up to it. And she won't. So. Yes. Friends are my family now. I like that. I think that mindset really falls apart when it's a parent with their adult child. Yep. No, in my family, the parents are always the parents. They're always better. They're always smarter. They're always the one above. And children, no matter how old you get, you're living up to the parent. You know what I'm saying? It's been like that forever. It's the worst. Anyway, Brenda got Channy. Very nice. I went on Channy and I got this. Gemini rising, sun in Scorpio, moon in Pisces. Very nice. Very nice. Your Scorpio sun, Pisces moon, Gemini rising. That's interesting. I love that. I hope you found the app helpful. I love Channy. It's one of my favorites. So I hope you found that helpful. Do a general read to cross with this. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, sorry to unload my family drama on you all, but when talking about family rockiness, like, yeah, I feel you. And I feel that, Amy. I do feel that I have an online family. And I've said many times that I think it's hilarious. It's almost laughable to me that I get more love and support from strangers online than I did from my own family. You know? So thank you all very much. Brenda, let's see what we've got. Victories are around the corner. Right place, right time energy as well. You got some wands here. And then 5 of Cups energy. Very nice. It's worth, I mean, that's not great, but I think it's nice that you're in a spot to learn some emotional lessons that has a lot to do with your moon and Pisces. You feel really deeply. You know? You feel really deeply and you're deeply connected. So I think it's good that you're open to learning emotional lessons. So right place, right time energy with that 8 of Wands. Victories around the corner. Now is the time also to face your demons and to be willing to get out of your own way, to use the knowledge that you've gained in this chart from Chani to get out of your way in the best way that you can, to learn the things about you that you want to change, you know, so that you can make those moves and make those changes. So yeah, the devil, I love that for you. Allow this chart, this info to help be a mirror for you, you know? And I hope you like Chani. It's my favorite astrology app since CoStar is fucking garbage. What happened with CoStar? I found out that CoStar is run primarily with AI, and it's a lot of the daily horoscope stuff is nonsense. A lot of it is just meant to troll you and to make you like they deliberately put things that are supposed to like get a rise out of you, you know, to piss you off. And they have a lot of false information. I had CoStar for a while. I thought it was fun and simple to have. But yeah, it's not like they get off on the fact that they think people are stupid, you know? And this is a conversation that I had with a client earlier today about like spiritual psychosis. They had connected with a person and let this person into their life. Christina, get Chani. Chani does your chart so much better. CoStar might be inaccurate for your chart. Chani is CHANI. It's another free app. And it's run by someone that knows what they're doing. So, but yeah, CoStar might have been a bit inaccurate. So I would check that out. Yeah, you're welcome. I would check that out. But yeah, I was talking with a client today about like, it's unfortunate that when you're, and I'm going to try to say this as delicately as possible, but when you do spiritual services for a living, when you do these spiritual things and you provide a service for people online, you get a lot of ignorance. You get a lot of people that don't understand this and they just think it's like fun magic. This client had someone that she had opened up to, and then it had turned into spiritual psychosis from this person. And like this person was like, yeah, I'm gonna send a hex after this person because they're fucking with me. I think someone put a hex on me, like shit like that. Then they said that they were up at like 1 a.m. because they were attacked by some invisible male spirit. And it's like, okay, like spiritual psychosis, babe. Like that's not, you need therapy. Like you need help. And like they found out that this person was actually in like a psychiatric ward. They were not okay up here. And that's something that I've dealt with as well. When I first started out providing this service for people like 5 years ago, there was this really young college girl who was maybe like, yeah, this is cursed, that is cursed, yep. Absolutely. And this really, really young college girl who was maybe like 19, 20. She was a freshman in college, and I had daily readings open. I had private sessions open daily. And she would book a session. It was like $30. And she would book a session with me every single day. And every day it was about the same things. And she would basically like do shit and then come back to me and say, okay, I did that. Now what do I do? And I would read her and give her advice, in my way, and like tell her like, you need to figure stuff out on your own and like have your own convictions and like, don't worry about this or that or whatever. And she's like, okay, yeah, I will. And then would do stuff. And then she'd come back and be like, okay, so now what? She would talk about this guy and like, I saw him at a party, but then then I'd be like, okay, cool. Yeah, maybe you should try talking to him or whatever. And then the next day she would see me and be like, okay, so I tried talking to him, but he ignored me. So now what? And I'm like, well, we're not doing this lovey-dovey shit. Like, that's not what this is for, and just let it be. And if he wants to talk to you, he'll talk to you. And she's like, yeah, but do you think he'll come around? And I'm like, I just said I'm not doing this. And she's like, oh yeah, you're right. Sorry. And she would book the next day and it would be about the same guy and the same issue. He's still ignoring me. Do you think he'll talk to me though? Like, and I would do a full reading and she'd be like, okay, yeah, no, that makes sense. That resonates. But do you think he'll like talk to me? And I'm like, what the fuck are you missing? So I had to cut this person off. Is this why you don't do love readings anymore? It's a big part of it. You know what I mean? Because like, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, I do entertain love life things during private sessions. I don't do them during lives because people just want their quick yes or no love life answer. But during a private session, we can really talk about it. We can really talk about why you care, why you're bound to it, what love really is. I can explain to you this tarot love life stuff to you. I can explain it to you better and in greater detail, so yeah, I had to, and I was telling the client today that I was like, it's unfortunate that like when you do this for a living and people believe in it, I know like this chat is full of intelligent, wonderful people. A lot of you are women. And so I was explaining to my client today that like, because she has gifts as well, and she's wondering about like doing spell work versus, and like if she should be sharing her spell work online. And because she does for people, she shares some spell work with people online, and she also does her tarot and divination and stuff. And she's like, I think I might pull back on the spell work because people want you to fix everything. They want you to do it, So, and I tried to tell her like, maybe you can help people with their spell work. Like you can tell them like, do this, try this, get this candle, get that incense, whatever. Help them get the tools they need. but you gotta stop doing it for them, you know? And that's what she was doing because she wants to help people. You know, she wanted to help people and women. And we were laughing because she was like, I know you don't do love shit, but I do. She's like, I try to help people with their love lives. And I'm like, and that's totally fucking fair for you. Like, that's great. If that's a calling you want to take on, but she's feeling very drained and like taken advantage of, and people don't understand, you know, they're not willing to do it themselves. You know, they're not willing to like do the spell and like let it take its time. They want it to happen right now, you know? And that's just not how it works. And it's unfortunate that in this line of work and with all of this spiritual woo-woo, that there's a lot of ignorance. You know, there's a lot of ignorance. There's a lot of people that don't get it. I think it's funny now, but when the Book of Answers or the Illuminator's Amulet, my Magic 8-Ball cards, whenever they say something negative, people are like, absolutely not. I do not claim this. And I'm like, okay, like, you know, I've seen those, especially on Facebook, I've seen readings and like people putting stuff and saying like, money's coming to you. Put amen in the chat if you want money in 24 hours, put amen in the comments. And it's just full of it. Hundreds of people are like, amen, I claim this. Amen, I claim this. Like, you really think that some random social media text word thing is going to help you you're just miraculously going to find money tomorrow? Like, that's not. It's just, there's so much ignorance. There's so many people that are just stupid and they don't understand this. And that's what, and they fully believe it, you know? And then I tell people, hi, yeah, that's not how this works. You kind of have to make it happen. Like, you can have it, but it's got to be like this, you know? And they're like, no, I don't claim that, you know? And it's like, if it's not easy, if it's not free, if it's not simple, then they don't want it, you know? So, and that's why so many of these people fall for scams. You know how many messages I get on a daily basis of people telling me that like, they got a reading from someone that they thought was me. You know, they were like, oh, I thought it was you, so I got the reading and they told me that I'm cursed. Do I have anything to worry about? They said that they see a dark energy around me. Do you think that's true? And I'm like, where the fuck do I begin? Where do I begin? Like, the fact that you thought it was me and it wasn't me should tell you already that that's a fucking scammer. And like, a scammer isn't going to tell you anything worthwhile. It's not going to tell you everything they said was an effort of scam, but you're still checking in with me. Again, instead of going to the website the way you're supposed to, or writing in to Dear Madam Adam, instead of doing these things, you're still in my DMs being like, hey, so the scammer said that I've got this stuff around me. What do you see? And I'm like, I see the need for you to go on my website. Like, you got to do this the right way. And they're like, wow, you can't even help me. And I'm like, the fact that you know it was a scammer tells you everything you need to know. Everything that person said to you was bullshit. But if you want a real reading, you can book one with me. And they were like, no, that's okay. Thanks. I got everything I needed. Like, thank you for confirming. And I'm like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. Like, it's, people just don't take it seriously. But like, ignorant people, they take it so seriously until it's negative or until it's something that they don't want to hear. And then they're like, this is bullshit, because it's not positive, because it's not what you wanted to hear. Go look at my videos, at these videos, this shit, go look at them and see how many people are like, no, I do not claim this energy. I'm not claiming this, blah, blah, blah. Like, you're commenting on it. Just don't comment on it. Scroll past it and realize like, maybe this one's just not for you, you know? But they can't do that. So that's the most frustrating thing for me doing this for a living, is that like, you have to deal with a certain level of ignorance, and people just don't think, you know, they don't think, they're ignorant, and they're prone to scam, you know? And it's unfortunate because there are so many smart, wonderful, successful people that I know that get readings with me on the regular. They are wonderfully intelligent. They've got, high paying, high powered jobs, but they just believe in spirit, and they believe that tarot has message for them and all of that. Literally, Danny, not all news is good news, right? And even I have regulars that see me that are like producers on TV shows and shit, and famous adult stars and things like that, and they're highly successful and intelligent people, but they have this spiritual side of them that leaves them open-minded, and we use our sessions as a way of getting perspective. And when we have a card like, the 5 of Cups or something comes up, and I'm like, what is heavy on you right now? Like, is there something that's weighing on you that you maybe don't quite know how to put into words? Let's talk about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's therapy. It's like tarot and therapy kind of combined. And that's what I love about it, is when I have really, really good clients, when I have like people like you guys, intelligent people that stick around, that understand what this is. You know what I mean? And that's what the trolls are. And that's what the people that jump into the live and just ask a question, or it's their love life question. Those are ignorant people that just want a quick answer. They're so bored with their lives that they have to pick romantic drama, Exactly. Open to learning and growth. Exactly. My Maven community is full of intelligent women and men, but intelligent people that are open-minded and willing to learn. And y'all aren't stupid. You're not falling for bullshit. You're not seeing stupid shit and being like, oh my God, I claimed this with love, but thank God, blessed be. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so stupid. There's so much practicality and spirituality, it's not even funny. But it's also this Western Christian shit where it's like, oh, well, how come this isn't happening? Oh, well, you're just not praying hard enough. How do you pray hard? I don't understand. How do you pray hard? Do you like shout in your head? Like, how do you pray harder? How do you get more faith? You just don't have enough faith. You're not believing enough. The scariest things that people say to me are, Jesus, take the wheel, or it's God's plan. Let God handle it. That shit is so scary to me. It removes all accountability that you have in controlling your own life, Let's see. I'm over time, but I don't really care. This one is from Kathy. From your Finch friend. Yay. Hello, Adam. This is Kathy, your friend on Finch. I wanted to reach out and introduce myself briefly. I appreciate your Tough Love Tarot and always know that when it comes up in my feed, it's timely and for me. As an intuitive and former professional psychic medium, I always get the message I need from them. So thank you. See? Intelligent people. Should you ever want to speak with someone who understands what it's like giving professional readings, consider me a friend. I love that. Have so much fun this spooky season. Best regards, Kathy. So Kathy's not really looking for a read, but that's really nice. Thank you, Kathy. It's nice to meet you as well. That's amazing. Thank you so much. And thank you to those of you that have started following me on Finch. I really appreciate that. I've got a lot of friends. I've got a couple more I'll do. Let's see. Naomi, updating you like I said I would. I got a job offer with tentative orientation for the 30th of this month. Congratulations. I have another job interview on Monday at 1, keeping all options open. Very good. The reading you gave me last week has been coming to fruition. I'm just mainly giving an update and letting you know how I'm doing and such. If you have the time, can we do a reading and see what the cards say about what's up? Yeah. Yeah, let's talk about how you can put your best foot forward for these things. Yeah, Christina, Channy is more accurate. Channy is run by an astrologer where she knows what's up, you know? All right. Take this as a learning experience, first and foremost. You've got Hierophant energy and the Hermit. So this is still a part of your learning process. I'm glad you're keeping your options open because, you know, you never know what a good opportunity could be. And Seven of Wands energy. Don't be afraid to stand up for yourself. Don't be afraid to advocate for you. Don't be afraid to speak up, you know? Don't be afraid to negotiate a salary or a pay, you know? It's easy to get stuck in your head. Communicate honestly, kind of humanize yourself a bit. But don't withdraw. Don't pull back. Don't get in your feelings about any of this stuff, you know? So do take this as a learning experience, no matter what happens, positive or negative, and make sure that you advocate for you along the way. Amy Reed. Let's see. Love your live videos and your tough love readings. I was hoping to get a general reading tonight. See you on YouTube. Thanks. I hope you're here. All right. Amy, you've got a lot of self-doubt going on. Seven of Swords coupled with the King of Pentacles. You're meant for great things, and you're trying to accomplish things for you that are steadfast, that make you stable, that get you wealth and abundance. And you can rely on you, but we have some self-sabotage going on, some haste, some uncertainty, some personal deceit happening. So Four of Wands energy for you. Focus on your home. Find stability and security within. Make it a celebration to cleanse the home and the space. Make it a celebration of sorts, you know? Yeah, you're in a time of abundance, my love. Yeah, this This is just self-sabotage. This is deceptive energy, internal, you know? You've got good things coming your way. Spin that wheel, my love. Spin that wheel. Take the chance. Yeah, another one. Nine of Pentacles. You're on the right track, and it's really easy to get doubtful. It's really easy to get doubtful of our abilities and that what we're doing is the right thing for us. Especially when you're embarking on new journeys, you know? So yeah, I hope that resonates or gives you something to think about. All right, Karen, family dynamics. Another one today. Hey, beautiful. Since this year started, I heard many and extremely hurtful things about me and my dead parents from the same family we loved, cared, and nurtured our whole life, including my parents. I had never thought that they were filled with so much poison that even Black Mamba would die instantly when these people will bite it. I had to cut ties with them. I don't blame you. Things they said to my face, behind my back, and outside the family were worse than negative, gross, and nasty. And the best part is that their life motto is never accept your fault. Wow. So I just moved away. I saw a post that someone made, like some celebrity was like advocating for themselves and like apologizing for wearing fur or something like that. They didn't realize that the jacket they were wearing was like real fur, and they were like, yeah, my mom was an activist and this is terrible, like I'm so sorry to the community and to the, you know, to the anti-fur and animal testing community. I'm really, really sorry. And someone in the comments was like, never apologize, it's a sign of weakness. And I'm like, who the fuck raised you? Like, good God. Very similar. Never accept your fault. What the fuck? I wasn't invited to my cousin's engagement ceremony as well because I'm not a multimillionaire. Like, my money is good, but I'm not. They threw dirt on my name, character, dead parents, my existence in every possible way. I would like to know what is actually going on because OMG, like, what the fuck? They didn't even spare my husband who spent his money to buy them gifts. What is on with them? Yeah. Let's see. That's shitty. I'm really sorry that's going on with you. And as we talked about before, family isn't everything. Yeah. So from the standpoint of you, Karen, 5 of Swords energy, conflict with these people is unavoidable. There's nothing you can do about it. 4 of Wands energy, you need to worry about your home, your space, the people you want to be around. Emperor energy, you have something that they don't. You have something that they could never have, whatever that is. There's an element of they're afraid of you, you know, for some reason or another. But the Emperor, you got to remember who you are. The Lovers as well. You've got choices. You always have choices with what you want to do with this. And it's got to be logical. It's got to be practical. You deserve to be loved and chosen. 6 of Cups. You deserve to be loved and chosen in ways that you want to be. But from them applying this to those people, they have conflicts in their own homes. Everyone thinks they're right. I'm kind of just to understand, I'm kind of putting the positive spin on this for you, or the constructive spin on it for you, and then for these people, the other side of it. So it's almost like for them, all of these things are in reverse, you know? So at least that's kind of how I see it, you know, is that for you, these cards are upright. For them, because think about like mirrors, think about like equal and opposite, right? So if we're gonna put the mirror up to them, it's gonna reverse all of these cards, right? So for these people, they have conflicts in their own homes. Everyone thinks they're right in their own home. The lovers, they feel they don't have any choice. You know, they're stuck in whatever they're doing. They're bound by traditions, or by, well, this is how we've always done things, you know. They won't make their own choices. They want everything to be chosen for them, and they don't know how to give out love that hasn't been shown to them. But it's also not your fucking job to do so. You are also outnumbered, you know? So it's almost like it's a fight not worth having. And I'm glad that you pulled back. But yeah, all of these people, they've got problems in their own homes, and making you the villain is something they can all agree on, you know? So they don't know how to give something out unless it's shown to them, and unless it's given to them first, they're not willing to give it out, you know? But there's a lot of closed-minded energy here, a lot of like haughty, nose in the air kind of shit, which is hilarious because I'm gathering that like these people are not the shit, you know? They're not like vastly successful people. They just think it's narcissistic first person energy, you know? Like, let's say that someone works in like there's two different kinds of people that work for like, I don't know, like sanitation. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's say that like that someone in your family is a garbage man or whatever, right? There's one version of that person where they're like, hey, this is a good job. It's steady. It pays well. I'm humble enough in myself to not be like, ew, well, I work with garbage. What does that say about me? Like, no, they're like, this is a good job that people need to happen. I'm always going to have work, and I provide for my family, and I'm okay with that. And then there's the other kind of person that has that job that's like, I pick up garbage for a living. What the fuck do you do? You know what I'm saying? Where they like have to vilify everyone else because they're unhappy with themselves, you know? They think that there's something special to be treated so good. Right. Exactly. My family's very similar. They think they're the shit. And mostly it's because they're white. They think they're the shit because they're white people. All right, last one. Ashley D. Hi, Adam. Discovering your TikTok and YouTube the last few months has been so helpful and eye-opening. I'm so glad. Thank you. I've been struggling with anxiety and depression so much, especially this past year, and hoping for a reading for some general advice on how to work through the anxiety. So I'm able and can get out of my head in my own way and can finally work toward doing things I need and want to do. Fear and anxiety is a monster sometimes. Yes, it is. And you see how intelligent this person is? They know that I'm not going to give them everything. And they're like, you know, what advice do you have on how to work through it? I want to be able to get out of my own head and work my way. They want to do the work. You know, this is an intelligent and aware person, not someone that's all gimme, 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 you know? I love this. I struggle with a lot of depression and anxiety myself. Things have been better for me over the past couple months, though, I will say. But as a reminder, Ashley, this whole year is a hermit year. Everyone is going through some darkness and having to try to find their way. So you're not alone. And I hope that doesn't reduce or diminish what you're feeling and going through in any way, shape, or form. That's not my goal. My goal is to show you that, like, this is something that's happening across the board, and to kind of say, oh, okay, like, it's not just me. It's not that there's something wrong with me. It's that there's things wrong with the world right now, you know? But let's see what you can do. Very nice. Well, you can attack things head on. You can get on it before you have a chance to second guess yourself. Get your feet moving. You know, example, when I don't really feel like going to the gym, sometimes it's best if I just get up and put on socks and shoes. Good, Ashley. I'm happy to hear that. But yeah, sometimes it's good to kind of get out of bed, put on the socks and shoes before I have a chance to second guess myself or convince myself not to go or to get in my feelings or to roll back into bed. It's better to kind of just attack it head on. So have courage and strength, face things head on, face things going with full force. Remind yourself that you're a good person. 6 of Pentacles energy. You deserve good things. This is about an even exchange of energy. We have to have balance and take small steps, you know? So again, you're a good person and you deserve good things. Be just as generous with you as you are with other people. And then the Empress, my love. Empress, wellness, nurture. The Empress is divine feminine, divine mother, mother nature, creativity, nurturing. She's self-love incarnate. So right now, your religion needs to be taking care of yourself. So I would say something that you can do to get out of your own way and work toward doing things that you need and want to do is have a simple plan. You know, my simple plan every day is get up, take care of yourself, and do what you can. You know, make it simpler. Doing what I can some days is more than other days, but it's still doing what you can. You know? So I hope that helps. I hope that makes sense. You got to nurture yourself, tend to yourself like a garden, mother yourself the way you would mother a child. Be easy on you, you know? You're very welcome. Simple's a good idea. Sometimes I try to see the bigger picture instead of focusing on one thing at a time. Yes, as my therapist says, small, achievable goals. Karen, Adam, I'm so sorry to ask you for one more read. If possible, could you please see what's coming for my family? I would really like to know what's coming for them. Karen, no offense, love you, mean it. That's none of your business. What's coming for them will come, and you'll see it in time. You'll discover it. You'll hear about it. But what's coming for them is none of your business. Don't worry about it. So no, I won't do that for you. It has nothing to do with you. Okay? Well, I feel like this has been lovely. We've had some good chat. We've had some good tangents. We've had some good readings. Good emails have come through as well. Perfect Sunday. I think so. So thank you so much for writing in. Those of you that do, thank you all for being here. 20 something people. Thank you so much. Again, apologies for skipping last night, but surprise birthday party, which was a lot of fun. I don't know why, before we were while the lights were off and we were all getting ready to scream surprise, like I was so nervous. I don't know why. Like, what's my line? I was so nervous. Like, this could either go really well or we could ruin it, So yeah, but it was great. She was like crying and shit. She was like, oh my God, I had no idea. It was so great. It was so fun. Does Channy explain the info? Yeah, they do. You just got to poke around with the app a bit. So if you go to you, the middle one that says you, and then you hit make it make sense. They break it down all the houses for you and what they mean. And then they give you like the keys to your charts, like what you sent me. And they break it all down. So you just got to poke around the app and play with it. But I love Channy. It's my favorite new astrology app. Yeah, just play around with it, Brenda. Go down the rabbit hole. Yeah, there's a free version of it and that doesn't give you very much info, but then there's a paid version of it as well. Another one I like is the pattern. The pattern I don't understand as much, but it is fun and does give you a lot of good info. And then there's, what's this one? Time Passages. Time Passages is pretty cool too. So those are some other ideas for you. The pattern is kind of complicated in my opinion, but Time Passages is really good and really is broken down very easy. But I just really like Channy. Yeah. So don't forget to check out my Instagram for Help a Teacher if you're able. The shoulder and brain stroke one said I did black magic on them. You powerful witch, you. Who knew you were such a bruja out there? Who knew? I love that. That's so funny. But I've got a deck review coming out tomorrow. That's Murder of Crows Tarot on YouTube. Make sure you check out the highlight reels for Help a Teacher if you're able to donate to some school supplies to a teacher in need. And then tomorrow is Monday Night Mass. Oh, that's great. Yes, new deck reviews. So thank you guys again for joining me. It's been a pleasure. I hope you have an awesome evening, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much. Thank you for flying Star Tours. Bye-bye.